love going to the beach. But imagine waking up one morning in the beautiful state of Florida, walking down the white sandy beaches. Everything seems perfectly fine until you find yourself appearing in court or arrested for trespassing. Suddenly, there are trespassing signs posted up and down the white sandy beaches to tell you it is now private property. Today I'm going to cover both sides of the controversy surrounding the use of the beaches. Personally, I love going to the beach. It has been one of my favorite activities growing up in Florida. But this will not affect my speech. All my research has come directly from the Northwest Florida State College database. Throughout this speech, I will present to you the ideas of people who support and those who do not support customary use of the Florida beaches. First, I will give you a brief background of what customary use is and how it affects us. Next, I will show you the ideas of those who believe the general public should be allowed to access the beach. Then, I will move on to the ideas of those against the idea of customary use due to their property rights. To start with some background on customary use. According to Gregory DeMuse, the more technical definition of customary use is if the recreational use of the sandy area adjacent to the mean high waterline has been ancient, reasonable, without interruption, and free from dispute, such use as a matter of custom should not be interfered with by the owner. This definition may be hard for those of us that are just regular citizens and don't study law, but he explains to us that this definition derived from a 1974 opinion of the Florida Supreme Court in the case of the City of Daytona Beach versus Tona Rama Incorporated. Over time, multiple cases and new definitions have been developing. In recent years, Governor Rick Scott approved House Bill 631, which severely restricted access to public beaches. This bill went into effect in July 2018. The public was outraged, and then Governor Scott reversed his stance on the topic. He made an executive order to halt any new state regulation that stopped public beach access and urged local governments to take similar steps. However, he did not actually repeal the law. Since then, private homeowners have been in a disagreement with the general public about who has the right to access the beaches. Now, the people who believe that the general public should have access to the beach are citing the right of customary use. First, the Florida Supreme Court ruled in 1974 that the public has the right to access the dry sand of public beaches. According to Mother Jones, this is the ruling that Walton County followed in 2016 when they passed an ordinance to declare that all of the beaches in the county is available for public use. In addition, despite the fact that then Governor Rick Scott signed House Bill 631 into law nearly 2 years ago, he did issue a moratorium by making the executive order to halt any new state regulation that denies public beach access. He is essentially reversing his stance and supporting the public's right to access the beaches. Next, private property owners, like private resort owners or private homeowners, regard the beach that abuts their property as an extension of their property line. Therefore, it is private property, and it should be protected as such. If so, they have the right to deny access by the general public. For the last few years, private landowners in Florida have been able to legally buy the land that goes all the way up to the wet sand of the Gulf of Mexico. Mother Jones reported that a judge granted former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee ownership of the land stretching from the dune at the foot of his house to the mean high water line for a mere $400. Several of Huckabee's neighbors did the same. Equally important, House Bill 631 was passed as law in July 2018. Regardless of whether this law is popular or not, it is still the law and should be enforced as such. To wrap things up, the controversy surrounding the different viewpoints of customary use is still continuing its journey down the path of becoming solved. Although each individual person has its right and freedom to pick which side they are on, there has been many debates and lawsuits arguing for and against customary use. Biased opinions are often made because of the fact that some people are able to afford beachfront property, as well as some are not. I have discussed with you the basic thoughts and viewpoints on the ideas of customary use. The viewpoints that all people should be able to access the beaches because in their eyes it is public property, and the opposing idea that the beaches are part of the homeowner's property due to their property rights. Thank you.